Hi and welcome to English 3. This is your instructor, Dr. Starr, and I'm just here to go over with you very quickly the first module, which is designed to prepare everybody for success in the class. So most of these things are helpful bits of information that you would want to review for an online class. This one, you just open your desktop computer, your laptop computer, really quick and make sure that the first 3 checks are green, and as long as they are, you should be good to go for the class. Please note that Canvas classes should not be taken on a smartphone or a tablet. There's just not adequate space for that sort of thing. You need a desktop or a laptop to successfully complete a course like this. So let's just kind of quickly look at the main points of the syllabus together. So the contact methods for me are email. I would ask that you please email me through Canvas. That way we know that everything is secure on your end and mine, and I can go directly into Canvas and read your email. Any email that does not come to me through Canvas, very likely it's not going to be read. I'm a pretty busy person and I look for specific things in specific places, so if you can accommodate this request, all should go well. Okay, and when you send an email, do be sure to state as specifically as you can what the nature of your question is. What is it in the class that you're looking at? Are you looking at the syllabus? Are you looking at homework 1? And beyond that, what is the language? Maybe you can just copy and paste a direct quote from whatever it is you're looking at, if you have a question about it, and just say, this is the bit that I need some help with. And that should get us on the same page, literally, very quickly, so I can help you my best. The second method of contact is that we're going to have virtual conferences. For now, they're scheduled Mondays and Wednesdays, 1:30 to 2:30 p.m., because that will fit in my schedule right now. If anything changes, I will certainly notify you and update the syllabus. You're going to have a Confer Zoom item in our menu in Canvas, and you'll be able to click on it and come right into a chat room. I set it up. By default, I set it up as a chat room, but if you would like to exchange conversation, if you prefer to talk, then you can just let me know. In fact, if you turn on your microphone on your computer and speak, then I will know you're there and I can turn my microphone on. But I will not have my camera on. I tend to cover my camera just as a normal policy, and I recommend that you do too, just for the sake of privacy, because computers can be hacked and whatnot. Anyway, but up to you. So these are times that we can have a conversation or a chat and kind of go back and forth and figure out what you would want to talk about and how I can help you. Okay, this is an online class, and that does mean that you can do your work at 2:15 in the morning. The environment can be really convenient for you because you can do it at your own time and your own pace, but the accountability can be an issue. So you want to make sure that you set aside specific times that you're going to come into the class and do your work. And you need at least 9 hours every week, on average, right? Some weeks maybe a little less, other weeks maybe a bit more, to do your assignments for the class. So you want to make sure to schedule that time in your weekly planner. And that way you can pretty much guarantee your success, all other things being equal. You do need a reliable desktop or laptop computer for this class. You do need good and constant Wi-Fi access for this class. And I recommend that you have a decent printer, largely because most people are pretty terrible at proofreading or reading directions on a screen. Most of us will do better if we can print things out on a piece of paper and go over them with a pen. And that can refine our understanding of instructions, and it can help you proofread your own work for submission. So a printer's a good idea. Now, if you don't have these items, if you don't have a desktop or laptop, or even a printer, anytime that you're on campus or you can go to campus, we have a huge computer lab at Clovis Community College. And as a student, you have free access to use that. So do it. You're also going to need to meet deadlines. Everything in the class is due on Wednesdays. It's due by Wednesday at 9 p.m. and by Friday at 9 p.m. Those are going to be our due times. And may I very strongly recommend that you don't go in on Wednesday at 8:30 to try and figure out what you're going to do, because every assignment is going to require a pretty extensive amount of reading, of watching videos, and of planning your homework. So, you know, that 9 hours that we talked about, you're going to need it. So plan well. And this is stuff on the course management system. And I have a lot of writing here about how to interact with each other, because it's so very important that you're reading and responses of each other's work. That's a lot of what the class is. You're put into small groups of 4 or 5 students, and you interact with each other every single week, and you want to speak to one another, i.e. type to one another, in ways that build relationships. So you don't want to just say, oh, that's great, you know, because being sweet is not being honest, and being dishonest is kind of not nice. So anyway, another important thing to know is you have homework assignments that are due practically every week, and you'll be asked to submit your homework before you read anybody else's. And this is really important. In an online class, I want to make sure that the students don't gain advantage by reading other people's work before they write their own. That's a form of cheating, actually, and it is not looked well upon, and it is penalized rather heavily. So you'll be wanting to read about that. Make sure to do your own work. Small tidbit here. Your homework assignments, I pretty much always ask you to write in the text box. You can type into Word or something and copy and paste, but never attach files in the discussions unless you are explicitly directed to do so. And this may seem like a silly thing, but sometimes I have more than 100 students, and if you attach files, do you ever notice how when you're waiting for a file to open, you just get this little circle going around and around and around? Well, imagine doing that 100 times in one day. It's a waste of time, and it's a little bit, you know, irritating. So if you use the text box and don't attach a file, then I will be happy, okay? And I won't use my time, you know, in a wasteful manner. Okay, what else do we have here? While you may not submit files for discussions, submissions are required for essays 1, 2, and 3. Basically, you'll save those as a PDF, most likely. You can save it as a Word file too, that's okay. And I will build into Canvas links to turnitin.com, which does a similarity analysis, and the point of it is to look for word-for-word plagiarism, actually, but I tend to use this more as a teaching tool, and it's so that my students can observe what counts as direct plagiarism, and they can learn how to paraphrase and quote sources properly for academic and professional purposes later on. In short, we need our college graduates to be people who can write their own stuff. People who can write summaries and write logically and meaningfully and clearly, and maybe even with a certain amount of passion when it is appropriate. And so we need to curb that sort of reflex to try and grab what somebody else wrote and stick it in your paper. Okay. Let's see. There's a lot of information again about how to work in the in the homework thing. You do need this book as soon as you can get it, Rhetorical Analysis, A Brief Guide for Writers by Garrett Longacre and Jeffrey Walker. There's only one edition of this, and it's not that expensive. I'm pretty sure you can get your copy for less than $50. I'm not sure how much less. It depends on whether you get a new copy or a used copy and what your source is. But you need to get it soon, so if you're planning to order it online, you know, if you have an Amazon Prime membership, it's possible that you can get this in a couple of days. If you do not have an Amazon Prime membership, then it's going to take longer. So you need to make sure that you can get it in a reasonable amount of time. You don't want to have to wait 3 weeks to get this book and not be able to do the work for the first, you know, weeks of class. You need to be on time and caught up. So the campus bookstore should have this book pretty soon, but I'm not sure when, so we'll get back to you on that. You are strongly encouraged to keep a paper notebook for this class. Yes, your submissions to me will in the end be digital, but work for English 3 requires thinking. Human beings think better when writing on paper than typing into a computer. You will likely take better notes on your reading in a paper notebook than on a computer, and you'll definitely proofread your writing better on a piece of paper than you will on a monitor. So use your materials, use your resources to your best advantage. Information is here on grading and assignments, what will be assigned and how much everything is worth, late work, academic honesty, and this italics is directly out of the campus catalog, the college catalog, what the policies are for cheating. In our class, I have my own specific information about it, and hopefully this will not pertain to anyone, but it's something that you need to know just in case. And the things that you will be able to do upon completion, and the diversity statement. An online class has to meet the requirements for universal design, so that regardless of ability, specifically with listening and with reading, there are alternatives in the course. Things are designed so that everybody can have a good experience in the class. So that should work, but if you have some kind of problem, if you do in fact find an item that is not universal design, I hope that you will let me know about it immediately. An email will do, and then I can investigate. Okay, this is about the syllabus. So thank you for your attention, and I hope we have a great semester together.